Hey everyone, we're gonna take a little break from costing. My tenant finally got upgraded. So April update came around and with all the stuff with it, but my tenant didn't get upgraded until what, 6 weeks later. That's fine, didn't mind. So now that it got upgraded today, I'm gonna go into the new features. Some of you might have already gone into them and tested them out. Some haven't, some are still waiting to be upgraded, so that's fine. But I think it's good to highlight those. So let's take a look at the application and see what Microsoft pushed to me this morning. Okay, so my tenant just got upgraded a month and a half later. Thank you, Microsoft. I guess it took a while for you guys to start upgrading everybody. Started in April release. And what we're gonna do now is just go over a few of the enhancements and just churn out a couple of videos regarding enhancements. So the first one I really like, I want to talk about is we have, when we get into a card or anywhere, we have saved. So if I go in here and type in credit limit, let's say 50,000, it's saving and then saved. So I know when the record is saved into database, it's obviously not going to do it as fast as on like on-prem when it was almost immediate, but it is almost immediate. I guess it's like 1 second or within a second. And it's good to know because if you're shifting, if your connection is slow or something like that, you will realize that by seeing here whether it's saved or not. So when you're not moving away from a card without being certain that it has been saved. I also see this work date all over the place, and I think they put the work date everywhere so we know. It used to be, of course, always visible in the on-prem client, but now we have it visible over here. Also here we have in customization, this has changed a little bit the way it looks. That's a minor change, I guess. Okay, so what else? Another thing that they have been improved is the scrolling of large data sets. So I'm going to just go into the chart of accounts, look up into transactions, take out the GL. So we have a very long data set here. And you can see as I scroll, it goes into this graying of data, and then you get into the right side. So I can actually move much easier further into my data set, and it kind of approximates where I'm at. And so this is great. It's definitely very important to have a good scroller when you have large set of data, and we're going to have large set of data in almost any single database. However, of course, people are going to want to filter them out. You should definitely do that if you're looking for something. So that's a nice improvement. One thing that I really like is if we go into the sales order, we have some shortcuts. So if I go here into the Datum Corporation on this sales order, I can hit enter and go between fields. I can hit shift enter, go backwards. I can hit control enter. Oops. Actually, let me I thought it was control enter. Control shift next. So if I hold down let me just go ahead and double check how that was. So I have here the document. So I'm going to cheat a little bit and go into the keyboard shortcuts. So we have, and by the way, if you want to see what has been changed, you can just Google this April 19th platform release notes, and you'll be able to look up all of these things. And here, quick entry, no, new keyboard shortcuts, that's what it was. So I have the enter, shift, enter, of course, going back and forth. That's what we have before. But we have shift, control, enter. And I thought I was doing that. Let me just get there. So you shift, control, enter. Yes, there we go. And that moves you into the next tab. So here, if I'm going ahead and hitting enter, whoops, like here, enter, I move between, shift enter, go backwards, and control shift enter. I guess that's when you're over here, not in reservation entries. Over here, go shift, control, enter, I get into the next one. Now, there are other additions, which is control F12, which is slim or wide view. Now, I think it's always good to have the sales order in a wide view without fact boxes. I like that if I'm entering the sales order. But if I have here, see, what was it? The control F12. Just click on it like this, control F12, then it's slim. Control F12, and it's wide. Also, we have, of course, add new, which is Alt N. But Alt F2 will give you the fact box. So if you want to see that, like that. But like I said, when you're doing a sales order, you probably want to have as wide space as possible. So you don't want to have that in there. And finally, to go between records. So let's say if I just go up here, I can do the arrows. So control left arrow and control right arrow. So if I get into that, control left, control right, control right. So that was a couple of things I wanted to do today. I'll go into more in later videos, but we'll rattle up some features as we're discovering them.